Allow me to greet everyone in a universal greeting of peace. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good morning to all of you who are joining us today for the webinar on delivering Islamic microfinance in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao. The experience of ASA Philippines Foundation. I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the President and CEO, Camarin of ASA Philippines Foundation, Deputy Governor Chuchi Punasir of Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, Dr. Safik Danani, President and Director of MBK Ventura in Indonesia, key dignitaries from the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in this Muslim Mindanao government, diplomats, Asian Development Bank officials, key officials of the National Commission on Muslim Filipinos, and Microfinance Council of the Philippines, fellow discussants, and friends from the academy. At the outset, I would like to congratulate ASA Philippines Foundation for dedicating strong efforts in venturing into Islamic finance. All of us know that Muslims in this country are in dire need of access to investable funds for development of their small businesses. Our Muslim brothers and sisters are divided between the two words of access to financing funds. There are those who by extreme necessity are participating in the Western financing method. But the vast number of Muslims simply prefer to stay away from riba, as we call it, even if it means missing opportunities for enhancing the growth of their businesses. This increased the low participation rate of Muslims in the financing market. Recognizing the potential contribution of halal industry in the Philippines, the Republic Act 10817, an act instituting the Philippine Halal Export Development and Promotion Program, creating for the purpose of the Philippine Halal Export Development and Promotion Board, and for other purposes, was signed into law on May 16, 2016. Republic Act 10817 strengthened the direction of the Philippines to promote the growth and ensure the integrity and quality of the Philippine halal exports. With the internationalization of the markets brought about by the globalization and economic integration, and mindful of the state's commitment under the international trade agreements, including the multilateral and bilateral mutual recognition agreements, harmonization of the standards of international standards and compliance with the standard of halal products, processes and services became indispensable. The Philippines therefore shall assert its right to exercise police power against the trade malpractices. The Philippines also recognizes the vital role of Islamic banking and finance in creating opportunities for greater financial inclusion, especially for the underserved Muslim population, and expanding the funding base for small and medium-sized enterprises, as well as the large government infrastructure through the financial arrangement with risk sharing as the core element, and in contributing to the financial stability through the use of financial contracts and services that are founded on risk sharing rather than speculation in compliance with Sharia principles. Hence, last August 22, 2019, Republic Act 11439, an act providing for the regulation and organization of Islamic banks, was signed into law. As the Islamic finance is the new in the country, the breaking of the ice, so to speak, is much harder. This is because of this time, there is no existing real Islamic finance that can probably pass the scrutiny of trusted religious leaders who are familiar with Islamic finance. Although the country can boast of having used the word Islamic bank in the word, and there is no word recognition as such because we only use the name but we do not have the real Islamic bank accepted as such. Just as an Islamic finance by mere use of this name and Islamic financing services that follows, its credibility will not be automatic amidst the background of inability to develop a truly Islamic bank after 50 years of attempt. Islamic finance is new in this country and its management rely on indigenous professional support. Hence, please allow me to share certain hurdles that an Islamic finance in Bangsamoro will have to deal with. First, and breaking away from long years of failure of putting up an Islamic bank. The Islamic finance company must project credibility of source of fund. They have to show that they are not paying riba or interest from the funds provider. More so if the source is not an Islamic bank. This means that the funds for Islamic financing operation has to be sourced through the Islamic financing method, right from the financing wholesaler. Second, as the financing entity may be offering riba type of financing services to others outside of the Bangsamoro, the people has to be convinced that there is no mixing of funds. This means that the Islamic fund for Islamic finance operation must not be mixed with other operations of the supposed Islamic finance company. The rules that govern the commercial banks to have Islamic windows should be followed in a way that it passes through an Islamic audit method with international credibility. Third, the finance company must show that their method of reinvesting excess funds is done in an Islamic way. This is probably the hardest, as the Islamic financing company must earn from their idle funds to keep its operation afloat. By relying on income coming only from financing operations, this finance company may run into financial illiquidity before it can independently stand on its own. There is no existing Islamic financing portfolio in place where excess funds can be invested and earned in an Islamic way, free of riba. Therefore, the Islamic company may need to show the existence of an Islamic bank where it can reinvest excess funds and be free from riba. Fourth, and probably a difficult one, but it is more controllable by the Islamic finance company, is to operate profitably amidst thin market at the beginning. It takes time to educate people who were not used to tapping financing for their operations. These are just some of the hurdles I see for now in venturing into the Islamic finance operations. But on the brighter note, this can also serve as opportunities. We have a large untapped market for the financing market in Bangsamoro. The effort of ASA Philippines Foundation is laudable and welcome development for our people. To reiterate, the Philippines is committed to create, build, and expand halal enterprises. a strategic investment partner. And we endeavor to create an ecosystem to support the growing acceptance of halal certified products and services. I would like to congratulate again ASA Philippines Foundation for exerting efforts to develop Islamic finance as a pioneer in this area. I say, may you be able to overcome the challenges where an attempt at Islamic banking has yet to mature and gain credibility as such. Thank you, maraming salamat, mabuhay po tayong lahat at mabuhay po ang ASA Philippines Foundation.